Hello and welcome to Nicaragua. You know, I've done lots of trips for the BBC as a foreign correspondent. Always it's been about problems, about wars and conflict. This trip for the Fairtrade Foundation is completely different. It's about solutions, it's about being creative. And I'm going to start off with the coffee farmers up north. Teofilo is president of the Luis Alberto Vasquez Co-op. It's made up of 35 families, and we were there in February for the last days of the coffee picking season. Now, each picker's load is measured in what's called a lata. This is it here. Okay, so this is the start of the process, and guys like Mario and all the people in this cooperative get together, they pick the coffee, they grow the coffee, pick the coffee, it comes here. This is the first part of the journey from a coffee bean to a cappuccino. The transformation from a cherry to a bean begins with taking off this fleshy pulp. Next, it's washed and dried again. Then off for quality control at a new plant, partly paid for by the Fairtrade Premium. Meet Fatima and Alex. Their parents are still coffee farmers, but they're learning new skills as tasters. Fatima is doing extra studies through a scholarship funded with Fairtrade money. I'd say a hint of chocolate, perhaps a little bit of blackberry just bubbling through, maybe even a touch of spice. You think I'm talking rubbish, don't you? Well, all of those things are here, the Coffee Tasters Flavour Wheel. All this is organised by Proda Co-op, a sort of super cooperative, which is an example of the way ordinary farmers can have a real presence in the often complex world of the coffee trade. Right, this is I'm going to introduce you to Merlin Preza, and she's head of the Proda Co-op, this amazing organisation that's selling so much coffee around the world. Thank you very much for seeing us. Shall we go to your office? Okay. With great pride, Merlin shows me the array of their Fairtrade products and where they're eventually sold. Europe, Japan, America. Oh, fantastic. Look at this. This is the story of coffee, the second most traded commodity in the world. From growers to tasters, from farmers to families, here in Nicaragua, fair trade is leaving its mark. Well, that was the end of a really long and educative day. Two things stand out for me. One, I just got looking at my notes, Merlin Preza saying, behind every cup of coffee there is a family. Well, you couldn't say any better than that. And the other thing is Fatima and Alex in the cupping lab talking about their aspirations and ambition. You know, you wonder whether they'd be thinking about the future like that were it not for fair trade and the certainty that fair trade gives them. Tomorrow, another product, another day. Sesame. On the road to Achuapa in the northwest of Nicaragua, home to sesame farms, one of the newer crops to join the Fairtrade family. I'm visiting the Juan Francisco Paz Silva Cooperative. Over half their production now carries the Fairtrade mark. There are 230 farmers. So I'm here now with all the members of the cooperative and Brigido, who is the head of it. This municipality is known as one of the poorest in Nicaragua, and Nicaragua itself is known as the second poorest country in the whole of the hemisphere. And that's what the economists tell you. But if you ask these guys what they think about themselves, they talk only about the future. They tell me the assurance of a fair trade income for sesame means they can now think about experimenting with other crops. They're going to try peanuts and hibiscus tea. So one of the key things about being in the fair trade business is that there's got to be traceability. All the products have got to be traced back to their owners, to their farmers. Now here's Edo, he's a farmer, he's got a card, and on that card is his number, number 30. And lo and behold, here we have it, number 30. Though tracing crops is really about ensuring quality, I suppose it also symbolises the link between consumers, wherever you are, and the producers in countries like Nicaragua. Well, you've seen what I've seen, and I hope you're as enthused as I am. My lasting impressions, they're not about minimum price or production or diversification, though all of that is really important. What I've learned really is that fair trade is a constant. Good years come and go, Hurricane Mitch comes and goes, World Trade Organization meetings come, go and fail. Fair trade is there, it's always there. That's the difference.